All right, happy Friday, everyone. I don't know if you can see out my window on the side here. It's a pretty nice day here in the Pacific Northwest. Uh, Actually got to see the blue sky today, so that's always nice on a Friday. So today I have quite a few things I wanted to talk about. I'm going to talk about my new Taylor GS Mini, which you can see over here behind me. I'm going to talk a bit about the song With or Without You by U2. That's going to be my song analysis for today. And then towards the end, I want to talk about the need for persistence, whether it's in your guitar world or otherwise. So let's jump right in. If anybody has any questions, please make sure to put those in the chat. All right, let's jump in. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today is my new guitar, which is the Taylor GS Mini. And I can't tell you how excited I am about this guitar. I've been playing it all week. It's been super fun. And I learned a lot about playing a steel string guitar and how it's different than a classical guitar. And I actually put together a video doing a side-by-side comparison of both of the guitars. And one of the things I walked away with was that I went from not being able to play a bar chord to being able to play a bar chord. And the other big takeaway I noticed, and I was playing the guitar yesterday afternoon, and I really noticed being able to have a lot more rhythm with it than I do with the classical guitar. I don't know, it's a little bit different, I guess, because of the strumming is what causes that. So that was my big takeaway. If you're interested, check out the other video that I have just released yesterday comparing classical and folk guitars. So hopefully that'll be interesting to you. And if you're looking at getting a new guitar, I highly recommend this one already, and it's only been a week, so we'll see. I'll keep giving updates over the coming weeks as to how it's progressing. Let's jump into the song analysis. So I decided to go with something a little bit different because I've been going with sort of some older songs. So this one's a little bit newer, but still relatively old. So the song is With or Without You by U2. And this song was actually released in 1987. It was part of their Joshua Tree album. And it was interesting to do a little research on this particular song. It was a song that I guess I played post high school, dating myself a bit there. But it was very popular when I was in college. And I never really thought about the lyrics that much. Again, I keep coming back to this. You hear songs and you hear the lyrics, but if you don't sit down and actually read in detail the lyrics and sort of assess what it really means, then I think it's a bit tricky to figure out what does it really mean to you. And so I did some analysis on this particular song. And so hopefully, if you have not heard the song, I'll include a link in the description. Make sure to listen to it and then come back and listen to my analysis. It will make a lot more sense. But I think most people have heard this song. So let's walk through some of the lyrics. So one of the opening lines is, "See the stone set in your eyes." And the reference to stone is really this idea of something unyielding and hard, I guess. And then right after that is the line, "Thorn twist in my side." And the thorn twist, that and the stone sort of references this relationship that almost any relationship is probably going to cause pain at some time or other. So think about that as you listen to this the next time, that really this song is about a relationship. And if you think about it, it can be any kind of relationship, whether it's, romantic relationship. But one of the things that I discovered in the analysis about this song was that when this was written, was a time that U2 was sort of grappling with the challenges of being creative and having to deal with the, so much public interaction, and that, they really didn't have a private life anymore. And so that I think is pretty interesting in itself. So then I'm going to go through some of the other lyrics and kind of talk through that. So there's another line in there, I wait for you. And this is sort of a reference to an emotional or longing, like I was waiting for you. If you think about, I'm waiting around for someone to finish something or do something. And it was in reference to this longing idea. And then another line is, and you give yourself away. And this is in some way, when I read the line, I thought about it in terms of, how could you do this to me, or this hurts, and or this idea that one person gives into the relationship and the other doesn't. So you give and you give and you give yourself away, but you're not getting anything. So, or that it's could be unrequited, or it could be where you're just not happy because you're not getting what you expected out of that relationship. And I think this kind of goes back to this idea that U2 was struggling with the public and private life. There's another line here, my hands are tied, my body bruised. And this is about, you're unable to change your situation, so then you feel helpless. If your hands are tied, you're unable to change your situation. And this, again, it comes back to this creative identity, and it really is hard to create content in public, and it can be painful because you're creating something and you're putting out there for people to see, and sharing your heart and soul into your creative content. And it can be painful because you may have to take criticism, maybe no one likes it, and so these are complicated feelings, I guess, about people being in an artist role, and the struggles that U2 had with that. And then I hadn't really thought about it, but I had someone else had done some, had done not a similar analysis, but had talked about the song. And there's three things: thorn in your side, stone, and tied hands, which sort of bring together this theme. And that I found that was pretty interesting. I had not thought about that before. So think about that the next time you listen to the song. And as my final takeaway on the song, I really liked so this song is very emotional, and it's also timeless, because there isn't anything in this song that would make it, for a specific point in time. And those are the songs that I think I really like, because you get these metaphors, you get this imagery, and it's not, referencing to anything of any particular time. And I think that's really, that's what makes a really good song, is being able to make it timeless, because it's focused on the emotion and it's not focused on peripheral things like, I don't know, cell phones and computers or something like that. So over time, like, this type of song can still be popular and interesting. The other thing I liked about this song is the emotional connection with this pain and longing. And I think being able to do that and put that type of song together is it's not easy, for sure. As I have written some of my own songs, and it's hard to put your heart into a song and then keep the emotion. You want it to be emotional, but you don't want to have it take you over. So you have to be careful with that. So really, if I think about the takeaways here, what did I learn from this analysis? And I think if you're a creative person and you're going to have to put yourself in the public eye, but it is a struggle, and understanding that is okay. And sometimes you do have to feel some pain, and you do have to take a risk in order to be successful. You just have to try. And one way or the other, you will end up creating something, whether everyone sees it or not. That's a different topic. But yeah, that was my summary analysis of With or Without You. So again, I included in the link below a link to the song, and check it out. The last thing I wanted to cover today is around like your motivation for the week. And in this YouTube song, it talks about this emotion and almost creating even whether you want to or not. And I think in your daily life or in your creative life, so whether you're playing guitar, you're writing songs, or you're just getting up and going to work every day, there's this idea of persistence. And if you keep showing up and doing the work, that eventually you will be successful. And I think I think back last year at this time, I did a 90 songs in 30-day challenge. And really the success was just getting up every day, spending the 1 hour of time each day, 20 minutes for each song, creating a song, and then being able to complete that. So completing it was the success. Whether the songs were actually great or not was less important. But I think it demonstrates that even when you're not successful, you need to keep showing up. And I have definitely learned that from my experience on YouTube as well. So I started this channel quite a few years ago, but I never really did anything with it. And just since about January, February of this year, I started putting out videos and started doing shorts, and then I was posting songs and all these things, and just showing up every day, every week, accomplishing something, and in some ways ticking the box that you did something is where the success comes from. So I guess my challenge to you is, what is the thing that you're working on that is a struggle that you just need to show up for, and how are you overcoming that? So think about that over this coming week. What is the thing that you want to achieve, and what is something that you can do each day to achieve that? I'll give another example. I used to like get up and write in a journal every single day, and that helped the creative flow of being able to be more creative, whether I was writing stories or poetry or whatever thing I happened to be working on at the time. So that activity of getting up every day and writing in a journal for 15 minutes, that was my thing that sort of kept the artist alive and moving and doing something. So think about that as also a way to keep yourself interested in your art, whatever it is, and keep going. Those are my ideas and thoughts for this Friday. I hope that you all have a great weekend and you get a chance to get some guitar practice in. I know I will be playing my new guitar this week or this weekend, and potentially learning some new songs. If you have ideas for other songs you'd like me to do an analysis on, please include that in the comments below. And I will see you next week. Thanks. Take care, everybody.